troll in? I don't know.
That's true, but Slock is like a carry, not a support, and this troll could be playing
Dire
support.
team
We don't know. Probably not.
What's how's troll gonna be support?
You could just put Tree as an offlaner. Seb's done it in the past. I've seen it a long time ago.
Runs when 5.
Yeah.
No one else does.
They banned it
So
this
what?
game, so clearly they feel fear.
10
You're
seconds
looking at the
remaining.
again, Fear. The Abaddon there, so big.
5
I
seconds
guess
remaining.
really in favor of Boom. It's the end of SMGs.
I'm willing, like,
Hear
to
them
be
out.
surprised. Yeah.
Well, they
See what
hit out the
can show me.
Huskar and they
This
just
is where
double down.
they're gonna show me what this troll's about. Like the offlane carry troll.
Isn't Raging Potato a great bat player too? This would be an offlane bat. This could be anything. This is the problem with SMG
Yeah.
drops. You can't read them. They could do anything. You just don't know what they're gonna,
It's just
what role they're
the
gonna put stuff in.
Thompson mid troll.
Ooh.
Not that Thompson's on it. He's the only person I know that plays mid troll.
This could be a mid
You
ultimate. I
now
don't know.
select your heroes.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on in SMG right now, but
All right, so it is a carry troll.
Okay.
so for to carry troll.
But offlane Spirit, hey yo.
Mid one's really feeling himself. He's just like, hey, just first 2 me troll guys. Like,
Yeah.
I'll beat Boom.
You gotta have a lot of confidence in that. But the one person though, you say you don't like troll. I really want to hear the thoughts of predominantly Mike, but we'll have to bring in John, I guess, as well with him. But Mike, I love the attire. You guys really dressed up for the occasion. Do I even have to ask then what you think of the troll and which team you're going to predict, Mike?
No, you don't. Troll's just complete it's complete
10
garbage.
seconds
Complete
remaining.
trash.
Trash?
Is garbage worse
I mean,
than
it's
trash?
This is just
5
this is
seconds
bad. I
remaining.
mean, they even went for the Earth Spirit offlane as well. Like, this is my favorite hero, and I will tell you, this hero is trash. Right? It does nothing. It does literally nothing. There's no chance. I think Boom Esports guaranteed 2-0. By the way, before you ask John the question that nobody's gonna listen to his answer anyway. Who cares? Who's doing the jersey better? I mean, who looks better?
Can you both
Let's be
stand
honest.
up? I need to see like the full jersey.
No, come on.
No, like
No.
this. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say Mike. I'm in favor of Mike. He just has the logo more on display. He doesn't have to move the shit out of the way. I think repping it.
John,
Nah.
you're a leader. You wore it first. Mike is just a little follower, a little sheep. Horrible. Disgusting.
Exactly.
Shape the worst.
The worst.
The worst.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go with John.
Well, John, give us some insight about this draft while you're now high on the compliments of wearing the shirt the best.
Look, I have no clue why you first phased that troll with all of the counters in play. I like the Razor pick for Boom. I think Boom's got it. They gave Yopaj that Tiny again. He had a great performance last time. Should be a bit tougher against Bad Rider, but should be fine. He can do it.
Well, very quickly, Boom.
I think after this
Boom,
game,
baby.
SMG is gonna sit down and be like,
This is the caster curse.
we need to think about the rest of DPC and are we taking this seriously?
Alrighty, well, on that note, let's jump into game number 2, potentially the last game of today.
Thank you very much. Now we do go into game number 2. Jonathan, you heard the panel. They like me better.
Prepare
Let's be
for
honest. I
battle.
mean, they didn't ask Fear, but Fear was looking at me. You saw Fear eyes, John. He darted over to me. By the way, Fear, you're looking
True, yeah.
fantastic. Fear's been looking very swole, by the way. Fear, rather, John. Well done, Fear. You look fantastic.
Yeah, he does. And what looks fantastic is an instant pause
Is
for
me.
our game as well. And
thought it
you
was
as
gonna be
well,
me.
Mike. Sure, fine. You look good, but the pause in game is great as well. So you're stuck with our beautiful mugs, I guess, a little bit longer. I love that the beard is growing back, Mike. Going back to the Stockholm experience. A lot of people were confused as to who you were because you were lacking that beard. So
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
back.
well, oh, never mind. We don't have a pause. It's coming back, John. I mean, it took a little bit longer than I expected. I thought it was going to be, a couple weeks. It's like 2.5 weeks now. It's getting a bit longer than I expected. It'll be back soon, ladies and gentlemen. I know people miss the beard. Even the talent there were upset that I didn't have the beard as well. Which is kind of annoying, actually. It's like, well, hold on a minute. I played this clean for you guys. Is Jackie now going to be in the spot of danger down at bot lane? It's fine, though, to stick by that bottom tier 1 tower and see what SMG can do here, John. I mean, you heard the panel. You heard our thoughts about the draft. I don't know what to think
30
about this draft from
seconds to
SMG,
battle.
to be quite frank with you. Any key points you'd like to add to this draft of SMG?
I think Moon's really got the win out mid. He has a good lane going for himself for Tiny versus Batrider. As long as he doesn't get tossed back, it should be fine. If Moon can snowball hard and start being active, and if they can find these kills while Skem is taken away, then SMG has that condition to run fast. IO Batrider combination is also pretty sick if they want to play that way. I think
The
that
battle
launching point's
begins.
gotta be Moon in this game. And perhaps even Raging if you can get that early start on this Earth Spirit.
Static link out already. Philip, really nowhere to go. The trees are not his friend right now. I mean, okay, Skem. All right, Skem. I'm sure it's lag, Skem. Good on you, Skem.
He's just like, it's fine.
Oh, come on, Skem. You had to. I mean, you know the thing is, like, if you're in this position, right? You wouldn't pause just before the boss 5 dies, would you?
Hey, if it's lagging, Mike. You gotta fix it. You know, you gotta be sure. You never know with Southeast Asian internet. That does mean Jackie guarantee that he doesn't miss that because of lag. So they get the first blood, nice kill for Jackie, and a great start for Bloom already. Gotta watch themselves. Remember, a lot of this momentum's gonna have to come out from Moon on the mid, as I mentioned. He has himself a pretty good lane, so all he needs to do is find that. But up
mid
top, mid
one. SBC on the chase. The tether is gonna slow them down. What is it, Johnny? Is this about what I said earlier?
Yeah, you said, Troll can handle the lane up to level 2. I was like, well, I don't think he can handle lane from level 1. And it's tough, because if he had a more active support, I'll give you that, right? If it wasn't the IO 5, I think the Troll could maybe look to bully out Timbersaw. Well, he doesn't have reactive up and running, but because you've got IO, who only can play with Tether, you don't have too much going. Sure, you can regen back up, but it does feel like FBZ should have a good, smooth ride to getting his levels up. You're seeing even Tim's getting that pull back on a wave, so they're trying to play a little bit greedy, getting their EXP and levels up, and making the lane just as tough as possible for mid one here.
I've never wanted FBC to die more just to prove you wrong.
Why you gotta do that to him, man? You're wearing the Boom jersey and you want him dead? What's wrong with you?
What can I do, John? Mid lane, how's that going? Moon, Yopaj.
Radiant's courier.
Yopaj's gonna get chased down right now. The avalanche is gonna come out. A big dive from Moon though. But in the meantime, Tim's does end up dropping. Yopaj, is he gonna be able to make this one? It does seem like he will, but Moon will continue to dominate the lane.
That's to be expected. Tiny matchup versus Batrider. It's not amazing. And Yopaj at least has his wand ready. Has it all fully charged up to 20 charges, so he's got some burst healing and mana regen on hand. That does mean his spot will be stalled out, and give a lot more for Moon to play with early.
Mid one, the move in, parlay die. FBC down, but you're at the stage. FBC, he just doesn't care. He couldn't care less as Tim's. Go ahead and pull the creep wave away as well while they're at it. And parlay die gonna try and get a bit cheeky here with the large camp pull, but FBZ gonna take the aggro away. Parlay die is still trying, does at least get the range creep away, so you get something. A lot of XP to be denied off now away from Boom Esports, and I suppose it's the best parlay die could have done. Meanwhile, lane Yopaj getting rather deep here and just right into the face of Moon. Not something you see too often with a Tiny versus Batrider matchup, but well, here we are.
And Yopaj is still holding this lane well, keeping up in the CS, not losing too much HP while clearing out the creep wave. Moon not able to be as aggressive as you'd want here. Not able to go in, look for that kill, respecting that toss avalanche combination from Yopaj. And it does feel like Moon is under a little bit of pressure to win the lane even more, because side lanes, they're not going the smoothest. And like mid ones farming up, but they're also giving a lot of EXP out to FBZ, and they have to use a lot of resources to sustain themselves in lane. Even the bot lane for Jack is very straightforward. They might stand out.
Gonna get caught out raging. Great pick up there on the Earth Spirit, but Jackie might be able to punish. In fact, he won't. Raging is able to get himself out of there, and in fact, he might even find the courier of Jackie. Able to keep up with the movement speed of that courier. Have to leave it be.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Sort of
attack.
pick up though nonetheless here for SMG.
Dire are scanning.
Yeah, it's something you do need to start to get rolling on that Earth Spirit. As the kills pile on, Raging should be able to get that build up into the urn, start to have more impact. They're not really throwing Jackie though. It comes at the sacrifice of Scam, but you are still finding that build up on Razor. As long as Jackie doesn't die, you're pretty happy here.
Even Scam shows up mid lane here. This is Jackie, bot lane. He's gonna get chased down, and like you did just say, he can't die, John. And luckily he doesn't. But there's still a bit of a chase here from Arfu, but he's not gonna be able to get too close to the Razor to get the job
Dire's
done.
courier has been killed.
Can he really remain within this lane now? No regen available. Gem's gonna move over to the south, however.
Oh, Arfu.
Now, has the field. Oh, it's gonna connect. Jackie's got him. Surely, Arfu trying to run the back to the fairy fire. It's gonna be barely enough, and now Raging. He's the one to move back in onto Scam, and we'll find another kill.
That's big. They managed to deny off the clarity and the salve on Jackie, get the kill once more in Scam. They are starting to balance out that bot lane, forcing Jack to play it a lot safer now. The side of Boom are losing out in the early kills. SMG's aggression is lining up. Bot lane aggression is ramping up in the way they want to. Mid, Yopaj and Moon are dead even, which is a much better story this time around for Moon, because he's got, again, a lot to play with Bat Rider here, except he needs to watch out for Scam. Still is scaling. Still, Jackie's still a bit of a threat, but you always have to roll back now, ready for Raging to back off. And the urn is ready now in the Earth Spirit. So next time around, they find that kill, could give the charge for Raging to start to look towards mid, look towards trying to slow down that Tiny. I think for Boom's end, we need to see Yopaj start to hit into gear as well. Get the power rune going, hope for something good to rotate like a haste or invis, and then make his way towards the side lanes and find opportunities for himself now.
Mid one's having a great time though. Looking back at top lane here, John, on the Troll Warlord, he is CSing just fine. No real contest here in terms of CS here for the Troll Warlord. So mid one, having a much better game than say last game around on that Monkey King. Yep, BZ, while he isn't really being harassed out, is unable to slow down mid one. At least the Troll's still having a very, very good time. And again, it's one of the questions with the Troll right now. Is it a good enough carry to actually be able to carry you through the game? Like, he's going to go for that battle crew build-up, but again, the hero itself, it just seems so lackluster. And against the Razor to boot, it just makes things that much more challenging, really.
It doesn't feel amazing. I think as long as Midwin gets Battle Fury and gets his timing much faster than he saw in Game 1, it feels good on bot though.
Yeah, Inkswell out after getting it caught, and he's going to drop. Hims able to help secure the kill there on the Grimstroke. Raging did not even bother trying to help out, realizing that Arfu was just guaranteed to die. It's 2-3 now, still a very slight net worth lead for Boom Esports. So it will be a rotation back into the mid lane. And speaking of that mid lane, Moon has not been able to find a kill onto Yopaj at all in this Bat Rider, which is a bit of a concerning sign. In fact, Yopaj, he's actually ahead in terms of CS. Something you'd kind of be expected to be saying here against them.
Yeah, it's not the best sign. You pick the Bat Rider to dominate that Tiny. Yopaj is still ahead, still gonna have that blink timing on hand, whereas Moon has to actually hit the jungle, work towards his travels timing, work towards whatever else he needs to get online. And if Yopaj does find that quick blink once more in this game, start setting up for the toss back, it gets a bit scary. I mean, the Bat Rider, it's already kind of counteracted by the last pick Abaddon from Moon. So for Moon, his angles for Lasers are just that much harder to find.
Raging. To the wall, but it's going to be blocked off. It's Raging. Does get stomped up there on Jackie. Can go for the link out. There'll be another kill here for Boom Esports. The Scam does pick it up. Meanwhile, Yopaj going to try and move it onto Arfu. Does have a toss up, but doesn't bother throwing it out. So leaves the trade to run as he didn't have a toss target to go back to. In fact, he's going to try again. Now with his teammates around, he will try to find Arfu. He's unable to be able to really find the hero he needed to toss back, and he will just go back to farming.
Just keeping that build up. Side of SMG starting to Not as many openings for their aggression. Raging still hasn't been able to get any sort of urn charge up since picking up that urn. Just not finding the kills they need, and I think they need to start playing around the strength early of the Batrider and Earth Spirit. They just need to play with that control, that long reach they have with Raging.
Dire's
The side
top
of Boom
tower
still
is
keeping
under
track of
attack.
them, checking that jungle, ensuring that Midwind's farm isn't going uncontested. Not able to really stop the farm as Moon is starting to make his way over the last bit.
He's gonna be very careful though. Avalanche tosses up with the X12 follow-up Moon. He's been healed up here by Pylite Die, but can he really survive? He's trying to run back out of there with the lasso. It does stick onto FBZ. Maybe he does make it up. It's like Firefly committed. FBZ, they will get the kill scare. Able to take the swing. We're trying to back his own way up at mid one. Able to pick him up. They do lose our food, however, as Pylite Die now is the one to drop low. And FBZ, he might keep going for a chase, but it does seem like they're a bit low on mana. So a 2-for-1 trade. They do find the mid Batrider, and it's happy days so far for Boom Esports.
And getting a lot of work done on the map. Midwin still farming like a bit of a madman though. Number 1 net worth, and FPC not the safest in this position. Does have the stick or the wand ready to go, but can't quite sustain true when Midwin does get amped up with the overcharge. That's a lot of attacks on Midwin to overwhelm. Slightly close mid though.
Oh no, not again. He's gonna get tossed up. He's already connecting, and eventually he might just drop third. Oh, there's another silence out. He has to take that remnant away. The stroke of fate is going to connect there from Tim's. It's real tough. Playing from behind is a Batrider. From Moon, he just died twice in a row. It's not going to be a great feeling.
It's really not a great feeling. He's sharing his jungle farm with mid one, with the troll trying to build up faster as well. He could play in his triangle. They've gotten a good amount of D-wards on hand, but there's a line of sentries coming through from Boom, just to ensure that, you know, no vision game is coming through there. They haven't done a good job of just checking their Yopaj. Baiting Raging just a bit, and with that roll doesn't quite connect. But the impact of our off-lane Earth Spirit's still not there, Mike. No urn charge still. 10 minutes in, he picked that urn relatively early in the laning phase as well. I think for SMG, they have to find aggression somewhere. Perhaps once the travels are up on Moon, once you have the tether up with all the moves you have in the Batrider, that's when you can feel more confident of getting a jump in. But that's going to line up with Yopaj just having this blink up.
Oh, here we go again. Mid lane, Yopaj setting up onto Raging Potato this time around as Raging just cannot get away. This combo of Tims and Yopaj has been so devastating in this mid lane, and we're now the blink up. It's kind of hard to imagine them stopping this Tiny. They might try again for Moon. He just showed up in the mid lane. Moon, do not go back, sir. It is not safe.
Heeds your advice, hangs out in the tree line, knows something's up, knows the blink is up on our Tiny. Yopaj looking to swing around a triangle. No one really
Dire's
playing in this
bottom
area.
tower is under
Could
attack.
maybe look for a play down bot, but the TP out was already there as well for off here, so
They could at least find one.
Dire's top
Gonna
tower
be
is
Skim on
under
the
attack.
Abaddon. Being taken
Dire are
down.
scanning.
The smoke is immediately out. SMG, they're going to try and punish even further. Raging, gonna make the roll in. They found the Tiny. That'll be a big one. Even the relocates have come in from Pylite Die and mid one. They just really want Yopaj. They even overgrowth him up just to make sure. As Tims does also get caught up with the overgrowth. Pylite Die gonna relocate himself out there. They do continue to chase onto Tims, but even if they miss out on this, they've got an Yopaj, but never mind, they'll find both.
that's massive. That's what we needed to see out from SMG. Play with the relocates, play with that lasso control. Boom, hanging around too long with that smoke, not finding targets and get caught out of position, sacrificing Scam and opening up that move on the mid. They are getting space out to clear out the top tier one though with FPZ. That should open up the map a little bit more for Jackie to keep his farm game up. Razor and BKB just lacking the recipe now. So he's still set to get good timing on that here. Down to Yopaj once more.
Oh, has he gone too far? Mid one might be able to punish you with the troll, but gets no lucky and snares as Yopaj is looking to try and move back in. Sit back, relaxes mid one. Even on the Goljon, just looking to get aggressive. He is still the top net worth of the board right now. Definitely trying to take full advantage of it. And you've got to appreciate that from
Dire's
SMG.
bottom tower is under
You've got
attack.
to wonder, is it worth going for these attempts? Or is it worth just kind of fighting for mid one?
I think he's got to do good. He knows he has to play with his IO every single time.
You go again, Pylite Die this time to be be the target, but they've got Moon around the corner. They should at least be able to find skill on this Abaddon. They're rolling and trying to make that happen as they want to move forward the Opar. He's been a great target, but there's this Solar Mine out. Walking down soon. As FPD is going to move in and try to help out. They'll move after Arthur. They found Skip, they found Tips as FPD now may have gone a bit too far. Everyone just getting thrown around left, right, and center. And so many low heroes at SMG, but now Jackie is going to get battle traps, but he's in big, big trouble. He'll take it down to Boot, and suddenly SMG finding a 4-for-1 trade. This Boom Esports just overextending, and they do get punished.
Yeah, they're making a lot of mistakes inside of Boom. SMG capitalizing on it really well. They've got a ton of mobility. They can stack a lot of heroes on top of you in no time at
Radiant's
all.
top tower is under
And
attack.
Boom, they're just kind of stacking in one by one. They don't have any early BKBs up. We talk about Jackie having his winter recipes up. That's still about 700 gold away. So it's still some time to wait on that Razor to have that time. Even Wave as well, working towards his Echo Saber before that BKB. Until that spell immunity's up, you're still susceptible to a lot of the output on Moon, and he's got travels up. All of a sudden, 1.5k in the bank, not too far off. Skin does spot him out, but
Well, Scammy, he's going to pop the borrowed time. The last one's going to be up. He went for the right clicks off the Moon, but he's going to pay
Dire's
for
middle
it.
tower is under attack.
Boom Esports kind of underestimating
Radiant's bottom
SMG,
tower
and
is under
well, they are
attack.
certainly getting punched right now. Scary times for Boom.
they're losing a lot of these engagements, but they are still keeping up in that court. However, the troll is dragging ahead. Mid one, build up into Battle Fury is
Radiant's
paying off.
bottom tower is
8.5k
under
is
attack.
way ahead of Jackie right now. Razor can't really keep up with that all too
Radiant
well.
structures are
They're gonna have to
fortified.
look for some angles to take some fights from Boone relatively soon. The blink has been good from Yopaj, but the angles haven't been lining up. Sustain is growing bigger and bigger from SMG. They're not easy to burst down anymore. There are no soft targets for the Tiny to really jump. Io's probably the softest, but even Pilot Eye has triple bracer right now, Mike. So even
Dire
Io
are
takes some effort to
scanning.
kill off. That just gives SMG enough time to always group up and counter. They need a little bit more damage on Boom, but they can't afford to play this far a game either.
Well, now Tim's been caught out. They know somebody's in that tree line and raging. It's right on
Radiant's
target.
bottom tower
That'll
is
be
falling.
another mid-one who'll happily take it on the Troll Warlord. Now 9.2k in terms of net worth on this Troll. Gonna try and fight for that Ace Druid. Does actually pick it up.
Dire's middle tower
Relocates
is
out. They
under
want to keep the
attack.
fight going here at SMG. FBZ's already been spotted, so mid-one. He can get right to work, but they can't hold him down for long. So they will be moved to move in. Here comes Jackie. After Pilai die, they go on the IO, but the relocate is going to be just enough to disengage with Pilai die. Great timing. SMG, they lose nothing, but neither will Boom.
It's all down to what Pilot has. Triple bracer. The IO is just, you can't even burst him down with that window anymore on Yopaj. It's just really, really tough. Just
Radiant's
having that
bottom
survivability
tower
on
is under
SMG is
attack.
making this game a lot tougher for Boom to snowball off of. And they're stalling him out really with that
Radiant's
ability lead
courier
on
has been
mid one. He's
killed.
just farming all he wishes while the rest of his team makes all the space, and it's paying off. Jackie just cannot gap close that net worth difference.
They can't. It's much more challenging on the Razors. You don't really have a great farming tool for yourself. The mid one, he's getting very close now to the BKB timing, and that's when he can really start to get aggressive with his team. Very, very good news for SMG here. 2k net worth advantage. His Moon top lanes having a look around for another target. Not going to be able to find FBZ. Happily keep his farm going on this Bat Rider. Meanwhile, Boom gonna have to sit back and relax for a little bit. Wait out some more items on those cores to get going. And I wonder, I mean, do you feel like SMG have the better late game timing going into this game number 2, or do you feel like it can really go either way?
I think late game goes either way. You have a lot of ways to itemize here on Boom to keep up that scaling. Yopaj can just switch into that classic pause one
Radiant
tiny
are
build after the
scanning.
Echo Saber BKB, go for the Silver Edge, and suddenly he's also doing a ton of critical damage, go for maybe AC as well, and feel really good. SMG has infinite stall. I mean, they've got Treant Protector, they can keep their towers relatively healthy. Mid tier 1 still stands as well. That's the launching point for Offbeat to just stand that living armor on.
Dire's
And control towards
bottom
late game
tower
is
is
still
under
pretty
attack.
nice. You know, I mean, Battle Trance is still great. great. Just having a natural route on hand, a natural way of keeping these TPs down. It's also going to be very impactful through the BKBs. Speaking of those BKBs, as you called out, Mike, earlier on, mid one does have his early BKB done. So this is the point where SMG can commit even further with that troll. Jackie has his own BKB as well, but it's much more important.
Mid one, great start to the fight already, getting down Tim's. SMG will be happy with that. Yeah, keep in mind, Roshan is up and Boom have been hanging around for quite a long time to make sure that SMG do not move into that Roshan pit. Chances are with the troll wall up, you'd be the first ones to make the move into the Roshan when it does come to it. It's now Yopaj. Top lane, this will be a massive pick if they can find it. Tiny once again in trouble on Battle Trance. He's committed as mid one. He does get the instant he needed. Yopaj is not getting out. Oh, SMG suddenly with a fire underneath them. They are moving very aggressively, but unlike game one, it is working out. FBZ is going to try and move on to Raging Potato, but they have the magnetize, they have the slow and the silence down back towards FBZ. They go. They'd love the Timber, but instead they'd rather Jackie on the Razor. He's going to be up. It locks everyone down from Arfu. Tim's, he's going to try and get out, but there's no way in hell he's getting out of this one. And Skem, he may not make it out either. It's going to be a full team wipe for SMG. What a setup by Arfu.
They're just hitting all their timings now in SMG, Mike. BKB up on Raging allows them to just stand and fight, not really care about the output.
Radiant's
and the patience from Afu to just fall through, break the BKBs with the overgrowth. Does get punished, but the Roche is opening up. It's not going to take long for mid one to clear it out. And it's only that 3 ages for the side of SMG, a 6k net rate, 19. And whatever Boom did to them in game 1, SMG is doing to Boom in game 2 here, and it's going to take a lot more to recover. You need so many items. You need some Lotus Orbs up for protection. You need to be able to get a lot more
Going a bit too deep here, trying to chase down Skem, does get punished. You gotta be careful not to give too many of those kills away to Boom here. This MG. Let's sit back for a bit. Relax and keep that farm going on mid one. He's working on towards a basher very, very soon, but Boom Esports, they've smoked up. Try find some kind of punish here against SMG, but do back off at the right time with a very nice scan. In fact, they'll go for a counter smoke now. It could be a very strong team fight once again here for SMG. The move is there, wrap around. C1 tower, they're already gone, but Raging gets gonna make the Jackie. Does find Jackie. It's a great target against started on the Jackie. He'll go for the link out. Just trying to run. Overgrowth again from Arthur. Gonna hold a couple down. They've got Jackie out. FPZ, he'll keep the fight going, but not for long. Go. It just feels like as long as mid one's around, you cannot fight. In fact, they're going for a reload. They want to keep going. They found your punch. They've lost the tiny pick up. They can get it. Move. Trying to move in with that lasso. Parlay Die in trouble, but not for long. Parlay Die actually going to be the one to take the kill onto the tiny. Because SMG, they will just not slow down.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They have a great understanding of their
Radiant's
draft
middle
history. They had a
tower
bit of a
has
slower
fallen.
start in lanes, but now they're just ramping up. And Raging Potato finding all the angles in the world, making it work with Yard Spirit. He's just getting the right targets to roll onto, getting the right targets to kick back and isolate. And once Jackie's out of position, there's no saving him. It's just not durable enough. They catch out Tim's here as well. Another freebie coming out from mid one. Full Skull Basher already up here, Mike. So BKBs just don't feel great. At least you've got the Lotus Orb ready on FBZ, so they have more ways to kind of clear out the lasso and clear out some control. But they have to find ways to stem the bleeding. It's a 9k lead for SMG as they start ripping into that tier 2.
Under attack.
It is.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Mid one. Be able to take that for free. 10k net worth advantage now for SMG. So everything going right in this game number 2. They will move in onto that bottom T2 tower.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
How do you stop them?
Dire's top
They
tower
boom.
is under
It just
attack.
doesn't feel like they've got what it takes this game to make it happen. His move, he's gonna play the lasso. They've got FBZ on that Timber Sword. It looks like they're gonna be able to take him down, no problem. Mid will take the kill, and SMG they'll take the bottom T2 tower for free.
Dire's top tower is
Just a
under
massive
attack.
opening. Can start ripping into the high ground. Still 2 minutes left on that Aegis for mid one.
Setting up once again, Yopar, he's the one caught out on the Tiny. They're just not letting this man breathe. They will take him out, no problem. He's got no buyback either here, John. It's SMG. They've gone
Radiant's
to
bottom tower is under
T3 bottom
attack.
tower. Stopping the...
The
Radiant's
attack through the
bottom
mid one's
tower
just
is
insane.
fallen.
Even without any fervor
Radiant's
stacks, just
bottom
having that
tower is
overcharge up from Yayo boosts this attack
Radiant's
so
bottom
much that he has enough to just overwhelm, get a lucky root, get a lucky bash now, and just stop Boom in their tracks. The counterplay is just very tough. Once the rack's gone, mid next, still Aegis up for a minute.
Radiant's middle
They're just gonna be able
barracks
to
are
clear
under
out.
attack.
There's nothing Boom can really do there. Top is protected by that tier 1 still standing. Gonna make it
Radiant's
yet.
middle
They put themselves in a really
fallen.
strong position for SMG.
Radiant's middle
15K
barracks
network.
are under attack.
Massive depth towards the end for
Has
SMG.
fallen.
Looks like they might be able to extend themselves into a game tree as Region kicks back.
What are you doing? Oh, goodness me. I mean, I guess to be fair, he probably doesn't believe mid one can actually die right now. No battle trans up, but probably better to be safe than sorry. You are a raging potato.
We've got so much defensive items up in mid one now as well. Lincoln's already
Radiant
up along with
are
his BKB.
scanning.
He's just gonna be able to last through a lot of that control that Boom will want to put out. Gonna be tough now for Jackie. He needs to find a way to break that Lincoln's first before getting the stat point. But by the way, the Razor is just kind of a dead pick. If you can't just focus in on the troll with a static link, you lose the reason for picking this hero. So Midwin's very well positioned to just put himself forward, just run down the side of Boom.
Radiant's
Boom again
top tower
hanging
is
on to
under
their top
attack.
lane. This is their sort of their last hook, last area to play in now. I don't see any items coming out anytime soon that'll help their cause. Lincoln's for Jackie's gonna be nice, still a ways off. BKB
Radiant's
for
bottom
Yopaj has been
barracks
stuck
are
in this
under
position for a
attack.
very long time.
Scanning.
And without that Skull
Radiant's
Meteor
bottom tower is fallen.
Yopaj, he can't even engage anymore. He can't even just blink Avalanche. He's janky.
No. That Radiant Triangle, SMG, they'd love the fight.
Radiant's
Very
courier
confident as
has
mid one
been
is going to
killed.
move in. It's completely blind. They're going to back off the boom. They're going to try and fix the fight. They will. All over the lasso. They call Jackie. They want that pot one. Razor immediately looks like they've got it. He is just gone. Jackie, BKB or not, cannot survive. As now Yopaj in trouble. They've called the GG. And we'll be going right to a game 3 in between Boom Esports and SMG. What a performance from this fire end, Jonathan. Coming right back after game 1. And every game we watch between these two, it's just such a dominant affair by either side.
Yeah, it feels